In this tutorial, I'll show you how to compare slopes and y-intercepts from different formats. In this example, on the left, you have a graph, and on the right, you have an equation. The question is about the slope. The slope of a graph is the rate or the change of the vertical distance, the rise, over the change in the horizontal distance, the run. And each time, as you find your perfect corner points, it will be the same amount of units up and over. So if we look at this graph, I see a perfect corner point here and a perfect corner point there. So when I count the units, 1, 2, 3, this has a rise of 3 and a run of 1, also known as just the number 3. Now let's go over here and look at our equation. The equation has a slope number as the coefficient of x. And if you don't see the number, it's an invisible 1. So the slope of function a is 3, but the slope of function b is 1. Now it's time to process the question. The question says, is the slope of function a, which is 3, is it greater than the slope of function b, which is 1? Yes, it is. 3 is greater than 1. So that's why we're going to choose this question. Here's the next question. The slope of function a this time is the equation. The slope is the coefficient of x, so the slope of function a is 2. Now let's find some perfect corner points on this green line. And it looks like, again, we have 1, 2, 3 up, 1 over. So this time, function a, which is 2, and function b, which is 3, function a slope is less than the function b slope. So we'll select that answer. All right, let's take a look at this question now. This question is the same type of question. It's asking for the slope of function a. So the slope of function a is the coefficient, so that's a 2. The slope of function b requires some perfect corner points, which is a little higher this time. Looks like I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, 1 over. So 5 over 1 is the same as 5. And 2 is lower than 5. And since 2 is lower than 5, that means the slope of function a is less than the slope of function b. All right, this question is different. This question is about the y-intercept. So let's do the equation first, because that one's a little bit easier. The equation has 2 numbers in it, but the coefficient of x is the slope, and the constant is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept of our equation here, the y-intercept of the equation, is positive 1. So the y-intercept of function b is positive 1. Now the y-intercept of function a, which is this graph, is where it crosses the y number line. You see that y number line? You see where this blue line crosses it? It crosses right here at this point. Now that point is the y-intercept. And it's on the number line, but I don't see its actual number, right? This one is a 4. This one is a 6. So this one must be a 5. So the y-intercept of function a is 5. The y-intercept of function b is 1. And 5 is greater than 1. So let's clear this out. Let's take a look at another question. This one is a slope question. So I'm just going to take a quick look here. The slope is 4. This one, the slope is from here to here to here. Oh, these are all perfect corner points. That's up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. That's 1. That's 4. 4 is definitely greater than 1. The slope of function a is greater than the slope of function b. All right, let's do another y-intercept question. Looks like the y-intercept for this function is 4. And the y-intercept for this function is 1. And 4 is greater than 1. 4 is greater than 1. All right, I'm going to jump ahead here to the next level and see if I can't get to this more challenging question. Now, this one is a little confusing because it talks about points, right? X and Y points, or X and Y values. So if I tell you that the Y value of function A when X is negative 1, the Y value of function A when X is negative 1, that means I have a point that has an X that's negative 1. But I don't know the Y value. I want to find out if it's greater than or less than the Y value of function B. So let's go to the number negative 1 on our graph. That's a point. And what is the Y coordinate of that point? The Y coordinate of that point is 0. So the Y value of function A is 0. Now we have to go find the Y value of function B. This one's a little bit harder. If the X value is negative 1, what's the Y value? Well, I don't have a drawing, so that means I need to take the letter X and I need to erase it and replace it with the number negative 1. So Y is equal to negative 5 minus 4, which means Y is equal to negative 9. So function B is negative 9. So is 0 greater than or less than? Greater than or less than negative 9? Well, 0 actually is bigger than negative 9. 0 is greater than negative 9. So we're going to choose this first one here. I'm just going to choose anything to try and get to another question. The y-intercept of function A is less than. I want to get to another question. There we go. All right, let's do this again. Find the y value of function A if x is negative 5. So let's go over to negative 5, which is here. Now, I'm not on the blue line. So how do I get to the blue line? That's my answer. How do I get to the blue line? Well, I need to go down. Question is, how far down do I need to go? I need to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 8 spaces. So the y value is negative 8. Now let's go find the y value over here. First of all, you have to erase the x value and replace it with what x is, which is negative 5. Then you have to do a little bit of math, and you have to decide which one is greater. So think of a number line. Negative 10, negative 9, negative 8, negative 7, and then we've got 0 way over here, right? So which one is bigger? Which one is closer to 0? That's right, negative 8. Negative 8 is greater than negative 9. And that is how you answer the questions on this assignment.